This is Soundoff 60.
I want to make sure that the best team is the champion.
Yeah.
I want to play,
And that's key.
if that tournament comes up with this is the best team, I'm for that.
Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show.
With me?
Hey.
Without me? All
That
right.
might be the
Hey.
dumbest argument we've ever had.
You
I
are
like
the
the way he
most
does that.
idiotic imbecile if you thought that argument did not have merit.
Look.
It did not.
All right,
McCarran.
so you're talking about my LSU quarterback?
Yeah.
But you put
With me? Without me?
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
we are back here at Jack Daniels for
Yes.
another spirited, lively edition
As always.
of
And-
Soundoff 60. And you may notice once again, I'm one of only two regulars here.
Look.
But we are thrilled. Rick Sarro can't be here tonight. Lord knows what. But we are pleased to be joined by Alex Hickey of the American Press. Who,
Yes.
of course, you all know.
Always
for
good
his
to have
McNeese
Alex.
Cowboy coverage. So welcome to the
Yeah.
show again.
it'll be,
You've been here more in the last month
Wait a
than
minute
Kevin
now,
has.
Scooter. I'm
My agent's actually going to be in contact with you guys about that.
Alex, look, I have to redeem myself to say that those 2 Mondays that I was off, guys, I was at work. I was working. I had to go to a conference. And I think I mentioned that to you and Rick. This happens
And I
maybe
didn't
once
believe a word
once a
of it.
year. Once a year for me. Once a year, Scooter. You know that.
So I'm sure there were palm trees and umbrellas and drinks involved.
One of them had to involve a Monday night football game, but I won't go into that at all. But anyway, glad to be back.
But
We have a lot on tap.
I want to ask you something, and this is totally off the wall. But it hit me. I'm flipping around last week,
Uh-huh.
and they have LSU's famous earthquake game with
Yeah.
Auburn, 1988.
Eddie
Year
Fuller.
after-
Eddie Fuller.
Yeah, that was a year after your senior year.
Yeah.
You didn't play in it.
No, no.
But you know what I was struck by? Just watching that game? How big the shoulder pads were. The players
never
looked
noticed
like
that.
they were wearing
Scooter.
refrigerator boxes.
No, it's been modified to what it
Really?
looks like now. Believe me. I mean, as a defensive back, I mean, I could
And
have
I
been.
guess it's been gradual over the years.
is.
So you had to watch a game from 1988.
But that's a good point you bring up,
I
Scooter,
mean,
because you know
all
what?
of the players looked like their shoulders were this big.
That's something that I've noticed. But really, the thing is, Scooter, nowadays they actually get a custom fit to the player's build. You do know that. I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
that's the way it is.
But
I mean,
they weren't then.
weren't then. No, what you had a large, extra large, double X, whatever.
But they were all
That's it.
bigger.
They were all bigger. They were, Scooter. And the padding now.
Do you
Scooter.
remember them
Oh, I
being
remember.
these big old bulky
I
things?
remember.
I
I
mean,
remember.
I played high school football.
I remember.
And
I
you know,
remember.
before then even,
Yeah.
and I don't remember them being like
But
that.
I wish that we could bring a pair on to show back then versus now. I mean, I've seen them, Scooter. It's totally different. I mean, the newer ones now, Scooter, the padding they have in them, it's like compressed padding. I mean, it's nothing like what we had when we played, man. Nothing. I wish, that's a good topic. We need to bring a pair on from back then versus now
I'm sure
and
you
see the
still
difference.
got yours from LSU. You stole everything else
Why would he say
you had
that?
while you were there.
Why would he say that?
Well, there's
I
one of
did
your
not.
LSU helmets in every restaurant in town.
Yeah, well, just trying to keep the local,
Jerseys.
trying to keep the local well known. That's all. You know
All
how
right,
that is.
all right. Let's get back to the.
Let's
to
get
the-
back,
to
yeah.
the present. Alex was there. McNeese, great bounce back
Yeah.
win. Maybe Abilene Christian wasn't as good as
Yeah.
we thought. We'll discuss that. LSU built on the floor to win. I thought it was probably LSU's best game. They had a lot of good things go their
Yeah.
way early that made it an easy game for them.
Real easy. And let me say one
And
thing.
then Sunday.
I don't know.
What in the world
Why
is
does
up
every
with the Saints?
But get this, guys. If y'all know this, every time the Saints lose for whatever reason, is Rick not sitting in that seat? Think about it. The last time the Saints lost,
That's true.
Rick was gone. So I don't know if Rick's like, I don't know, Rick. But anyway, let me make a comment to you,
And this
Scooter.
is coming off. And there's something.
I don't know.
Let
Scooter.
me get off my rant first. I can't watch the NFL anymore.
Come
I
on
just
now.
can't.
Come on. What's the reason?
Flags. It really and truly, and I'm not going to blame that game on the refs, but it really and truly, and I don't notice this. I'm really and truly, I will sit here and tell you, I watch SEC games for the most part live. I think SEC officiating is very good. You know why I say that? Because you hardly ever notice them.
Yeah.
They may make
I think Brian Kelly really agrees with your assessment.
Okay, we're going to talk about that later too. You hardly ever. I'm not saying they never make bad calls.
I see your point.
But they don't make you don't see a flag every third play.
Yeah. When you think about it, Scooter, you know what? And it was talked about even before the season started. A lot of those flags that we see now is because, quote unquote, they're trying to make the game a little bit more safer.
Well, there are bull.
You heard the same thing I heard. You heard the same thing I heard.
Defensive holding in the secondary is not making the game
No, it's not.
safe.
It's not. But if you look at the quarterback position, it's like it's almost turning into flag football with the quarterback.
Think about it. Anytime there's a big play, I don't find myself doing this in college games.
Well,
anytime there's a big play in the NFL, you immediately start looking. There's got to be a flag somewhere.
You will. I mean, it's.
And I swear, if I'm a kick returner, I would never bring one out of the end zone because chances are there's going to be a flag, and you're going to start out at the 5.
It's
but it really, it's like. I mean, the Saints blew that game just fine by themselves.
Yeah, they did. They did.
The kind of questionable pass interference call was only, the final straw.
Yeah, we had a couple of those.
I'm putting this game on the Saints, not the refs. But I'm just talking about there had to have been 30 penalties in that Saints-Lions game yesterday. Yeah. I mean, and there is, to the most part, I don't blame the refs. Now, you can get good crew, bad crew. I mean, Ed Hockley, you're in for a bad show. It seems to be that crew that did Saints Lions yesterday.
Well, it's going
to be a bad show.
Yeah.
But there are kind of good crews and bad crews, I guess, and they may define them different because I think the NFL pays them by the flag. Because it is really and truly they look for any excuse to throw a flag. Rather than saying, was that blatant? Did it have any effect on the play? Blah, 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 blah.
But do you know?
I think they get paid by the flag.
But the thing that I've noticed too, Scooter, and Alex, you can chime in on it. As it gets to the halfway point, I think you begin to see less flags when you get to the 8th game, Scooter, because you're getting into the second. I don't know, but it seems the way that
the refs are just getting their arms limbered up.
It seems like the first 8 games, it just seems like you see a lot of yellow flags.
I would like to, if you got any data to back that up.
No, I don't, but it just seems like that's the way it always goes on because as it gets later in the season, Scooter, it seems like they're going to let you play. I don't know why, but I seem like they're making a point to you early on to say, we're going to call this.
I'm not talking about the safety rules.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about they have made. I won't watch an NFL game now unless I will watch the Saints because I feel like I ought to keep up with them. And I am interested to a degree in the Saints. But the sport itself, to me, is becoming unwatchable.
I guess I haven't been up to date on a lot of the things for the calls in the interior line, but I didn't know that it was a penalty for a defensive lineman to actually go to the face mask of another offensive lineman.
Kevin,
I did not.
It's a penalty for
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. When they called that, I said, what was that for? Hand to the face.
Well, I knew that one.
I mean,
And
maybe I don't watch them enough.
That's one of those safety rules, and I've never been down there in those trenches.
I don't know. I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, how can you not? What if your hand slips off his shoulder pads and goes to his?
That's the one that gets me. I understand.
How do you stop that?
But let's take some intent here. I understand the massive protection of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the stars.
They are.
They're the show. And if a guy slaps quarterback upside the head, throw the flag.
Yeah.
But when he's leaning for him and his hand grazes the top of the helmet,
you have
no harm, no foul.
And you're right. It's all about the intent, Scooter. And I think that's one of the things that I think, we'll talk about more, but I just think it's a hard time, like you're saying, watching. But, one thing we're going to talk about, how do you think Notre Dame felt about that?
We'll talk about it later. Well, to me, it was a good call.
But
Okay.
It wasn't even needed.
All right.
It wasn't needed. All right,
Can we
first
take
break.
a commercial break
We
now?
better because it's getting hot.
And we will hear from Al. We're going to
We
talk
will.
about McNeese when we come back.
We will.
So Alex will get a word in now. We'll be right back.
Soundoff 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort.
Miller invented light beer, the original 96-calorie Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubba-da, boom, which led to you. Miller Lite, we invented light beer, and you're welcome.
Hi, we're the Tarvers. Southwest Louisiana has been our home for all of our 30 years, and we're proud to have been born and raised in this community. We're also proud to continue the family tradition of serving the area with honesty, integrity, and Southern hospitality. And between our two stores, we have 150 employees who share those same values. If you already buy or service your vehicles with us, we'd like to say thank you. And if not, whether you're in the market for an import or a domestic, or you're interested in a career as part of our team, we'd like to invite you to come see what a car buying experience is supposed to be like at Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford.
Was my choice.
Dr. Cassio is my choice.
Dr. Cassio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Cassio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Cassio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
What is it about Luxair cooling products that deliver the comfort you've been wishing for? Is it their energy-saving performance? Those super cozy moments with loved ones? Or perhaps it's that great feeling you get in helping those wishing for a little comfort of their own. For over a decade, we've been helping deliver hope, strength, and joy to Make-A-Wish children and families at a time when they need it most. Find out how Luxair home comfort products will make you feel really good this season. Luxair, the comfort you've been wishing for.
And we are back. And before we get started, there are a few announcements we should make that's going to be going on here at Lauberge, and here especially in Jack Daniel's, Scooter. It's going to be karaoke. Yeah, but I mean, I want to make sure we get the dates and everything right now. No, Rick does. Yes, he does, read it. Don't even start. We're going to have karaoke, guys, here Thursday and Saturday here in Jack Daniel's.
What are we going to sing as a duet?
We've never tried to do that. I mean, what's you good at? I mean, tell me what's your best karaoke.
Me and you?
Yeah.
Probably Zippity.
No. I say Ebony and Ivory. I think that'll be a good call.
You read my mind.
I think that'll be a good. Yeah, I love that song too.
You gotta throw that race card. Yeah,
no, it's a good song, man. Come on, it's a good song. And also here in November 6th, we're gonna have Tasting on the Terrace, which is always a great deal to come out and just have a great. It's nice. Tasting on the Terrace is nice. And also November 15th.
I'll sing for my supper.
Yeah. And you're going to tell me a little bit about this one, Scooter. The band Heart. What are they, 80s group, or what are they? Heart?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's your age range.
I mean,
that's your age range.
I mean, is it the Heart group? Yeah. Is that an 80s group or 70s? I mean,
70s and 80s.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's what I'm.
Yes.
Well, let me say, guys, tickets are limited. It's just about sold out. So if you want to attend that concert on November 15th, you better get your tickets now.
You calling me old?
No, I just figured it was a group that you was probably familiar with. That's all. So that's what's happening here at Lauberge.
You're old enough to know heart.
Come on now, look, don't start that. Don't start that.
All right,
Let's get back.
Let's talk about McNeese. Let's talk about McNeese. Good bounce back win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they needed to get the Sam Houston State game out of their mouths, and
yeah,
I mean they did that. They looked good for 3 quarters. I mean, they were up 31-6 at the end of 3 quarters against a team that looked pretty good in the rest of its games. I mean, they have.
All right. Let's go back a week. Last week, in your spot, Mr. Sarro.
Did he?
Came to the conclusion that this is coming off the Sam Houston game, of course, that it's obvious that Sam's cannot throw. And that the whole thing need to be relooked at. I may be putting words in his mouth like you do. But that was the gist of what I got.
But let me.
And yet the headline in the American Press Sunday is "Do it again, Sam's," because he was throwing the ball all over the field. What was the difference in the Sam Houston game?
Well, it does help that they were playing. Abilene is the worst in the conference against the pass. But it looked like he was
still got to throw it.
He was seeing the field better. It looked like they were blitzing a lot. The tight end was open. I think 4 or 5 times they went to the tight end because that's who was blitzing.
We watched LSU. I didn't know tight end was an eligible receiver. Did you? Okay, go ahead.
But
that's been a problem for a while, Scooter, believe me.
It seemed like he saw the field better.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And he didn't really miss on anything. I mean, there was the one interception at the end of the first half where I don't think they should have been running a play in that situation anyway without a timeout.
Okay, what was it, 31-6 going in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt.
But it would be hard to argue against what Rick was saying last week, but I think Sam showed a lot in terms of, he made all the right decisions. Right. He made good throws. He didn't have any wobblers.
And I guess
I think this was probably a good game for his confidence, and sort of they're still figuring out the best way to use him.
Right.
In terms of what he can do, what his strengths and weaknesses are. I think this was the first time we really saw everything kind of come together for him.
Let me say this, Scooter.
Late October,
it was, if I'm not mistaken, when he first came here, when he first transferred here, didn't he have some type of surgery that kept him out for some time or whatever?
Yeah, he had. He wasn't able to throw until the start of camp.
Right.
And he was a wide receiver in the spring at Kansas State. Right. So he had gone a year,
without even
since November basically, without throwing. Yeah. So he was a little bit behind the curve in that regard.
After this game, was Matt Viator talking more about leading 31-6 after 3 quarters, or turning it over twice and giving them 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter?
In the third and fourth.
We were asking more questions about the 6 total turnovers in the game. He was talking more about the lead.
Yeah. If you lead 31-6, how many of those turnovers came in the first 3 quarters?
2.
Okay.
And 4 were in the second half.
If you're leading 31-6 after 3 quarters, anything happens in the fourth quarter really doesn't matter.
It was getting a little, zany late, that's part of it. I think there was a little less focus than they had because the game was won. But I think that was the point Viator wanted to make, was we did what we wanted to accomplish, which was bounce back from a bad performance and have the energy and effort.
I was expecting, of course, this is their
it just
first
ended
year
up
in their
looking
league.
pretty ugly because of the way the game finished.
This is their first year in the league, but I was expecting more out of Abilene Christian. Weren't you? I mean, I thought McNeese would win the game, but I thought particularly offensively, Abilene Christian would give them.
I thought it would be a 4-quarter game, but I don't know if that says more about what the McNeese defense was able to do against them. I think that is. I mean, you could tell they had some nice players.
Yeah. Alex, let me ask, I mean, just looking at a little bit of the stat sheet, I mean, I'm looking at they had 17 points in the first quarter, 7 in the second, and 7 in the third. Nothing in the fourth. What do you think has been maybe the reason for McNeese getting a fast start, but maybe not finishing strong in a game such as this?
Well, they never had any trouble moving the ball in this game.
Right.
At any point. It's just they turned it over 6 times. I mean, they had 500 yards. So
I'd like to point out your Tigers didn't score in the fourth quarter either.
Don't go there right now. We have not gotten to them. We're on McNeese right now. Okay.
I mean, I think they just got a big enough lead that they got too comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that's what this game came down to.
I mean, coaches are going to rant and rave about it, but if you do enough to get up 31-6
to win, hey, a win's a win.
I'll give you.
I mean, I'm not. I don't think they're going to question this much 31-20 win. Look,
I mean, here's the polar opposite is Florida had 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
Missouri.
going to get to that game.
Yeah.
So that's how it's supposed to turn out.
Yeah.
I guess McNeese, you look at it, if you can play this sloppy and still win without a challenge.
Yeah.
What happens when you play
exactly
a good
control
game?
of the game?
Exactly. I agree, Alex.
So where do they stand now in your mind?
Right now, and Sam Houston lost to Northwestern State this weekend, so that brings them back down.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's still chasing Southeastern.
Yeah.
That's the game of the year still.
And we know, at Southeastern, we know what they bring to the table.
You can't sleep on Northwestern State, and they got to go up there too.
Yeah.
And the Demons beat Sam Houston, and they've beaten Louisiana Tech, so that's also going to be a challenge. So that's I think there's 2 teams left that are capable of beating McNeese, and those games will decide whether they get in the playoffs or not.
Did they play that much better against Abilene than they did in that awful game against Sam Houston?
Yes. There's no question about that.
It wasn't just the opponent.
No. It was had they played that well against Sam Houston, they would have won, minus the turnovers.
Yeah.
Had they played that well against Sam Houston with 6 turnovers, it would have been.
I guess the one thing when you look at coaches and they say the one thing that we would prefer over anything else is consistency. And I guess, Alex, when you look at the very first game for McNeese this year was when they went and played Nebraska. The difference from Nebraska to now, it seems like what could have possibly gone wrong that bad, that fast, to face an Abilene Christian and almost get them coming back in the fourth quarter and winning the game?
They didn't almost come back.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at the score, 31-20. I'm just saying, Scooter, in coming back, they scored 14 points in the fourth quarter.
So what?
I'm just saying, when you look at that and versus a Nebraska, what's the difference, Alex? I mean, how does it get from one point to another like that in the 5th game of the season, which you would think your team would probably be moving in the other direction?
If you can answer that question, you're better than me.
He can. What you think?
I mean,
what you think? Tell me your thoughts on it.
It's tough to say. I mean, obviously, the Nebraska, McNeese has started off.
It was a hype game. I know that for them.
Every year they've done well in those games. And that's been kind of the mystery of the program for the last few years. They start off that first game always looking very good. Right. They have to try to get back to that point.
And we don't like to say that because it's kind of been somewhat of a trend. But I guess we'll talk about it some more when we come back on our next segment. But we're going to go ahead and take our second break on the season, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Beglis Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Hi, we're the Tarvers. Southwest Louisiana has been our home for all of our 30 years, and we're proud to have been born and raised in this community. We're also proud to continue the family tradition of serving the area with honesty, integrity, and Southern hospitality. And between our two stores, we have 150 employees who share those same values. If you already buy or service your vehicles with us, we'd like to say thank you. And if not, whether you're in the market for an import or a domestic, or you're interested in a career as part of our team, we'd like to invite you to come see what a car buying experience is supposed to be like at Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatments you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
Welcome back. Here, Jack Daniels.
Best place in town.
It's kind of hopping in here for this time of day on Monday.
It is. Well,
pool area,
nice. We got a lot going on. It's Monday and stuff. The weather's getting great.
Always smells good in here.
And you got to love the weather this time of year, don't you? The weather just.
Did you go to the LSU game?
Yes, I was there.
What'd you think? What'd you think?
You know, 1 week, I don't know, Scooter. I mean, really, I thought I would have seen a much different Kentucky team versus the way they played in past games, but I don't know what happened.
Kentucky, I think, had some skill players, but LSU just kind of physically manhandled them. And LSU, that whole Kentucky offense seems to be, everything has to go horizontally before they get vertically.
Yeah, and the thing about that
LSU defense was a bad matchup for that with all the speed they got in the secondary. You know, you got to come, you know, more vertical.
It seemed like they kept trying to hit that little flare hitch and it just wasn't working, but they kept going to it time and time again. Yeah.
But you know what I think about Kentucky? I think the SEC East is more like the third division of the ACC than anybody wants to admit.
You seriously think
I am dead serious. Look at what A&M did to South Carolina to start the year.
I know.
And look at what A&M.
That's an example.
I think the SEC East is incredibly weak.
You really think so?
Except for Georgia.
Well,
exactly.
Georgia
is 6 North.
But I think
others that can play okay.
No, I think the West is top
but I would
on
say
everybody's scale.
2 weeks ago, LSU would have fit right in the East.
Well, Scooter,
now, you know, I think LSU would have a chance to win the East. They're not going to win the West.
No.
But they really, you know, that's kind of like McNeese. They played Mississippi State and Auburn and got hammered. You know, they played Florida and Kentucky. All of a sudden, they're a little better. But they did make a little progress. The biggest thing to me has been the improvement, defense across the board, particularly up front. The secondary was playing pretty good all year.
Yeah.
And the offensive line on offense, I'm not sold at quarterback.
That's been the
that's
been the issue.
Anthony Jennings is ready to play a defense like Ole Miss has.
No, and Ole Miss has speed. That's one of the teams that I've got to say is probably one of the fastest teams in the SEC.
Defense might be better than Alabama's this year. Really?
Well, I tell you what.
Well, they did beat them.
I don't. Yeah, they did. They did.
Beat them really worse than.
But the thing when you look at it though, and coming into this week's game, I guess this will be the telltale sign that I'm hoping Coach Miles will say, you know what, we can't just run on first and second down. We're going to have to throw it, and they're going to have to, Scooter. They're going to have to throw on first down.
They're going to have to. I just don't think they can. I mean,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
You were a defensive back.
I know what you're saying, Scooter.
You sat there and watched quarterbacks' eyes your whole career, right?
Yes.
I don't see any light bulb going on in Jennings' head when he's in the pocket. Against Florida, they rolled him out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I thought
they made him move a little bit.
He saw things a little better then. I didn't see it as much Saturday against Kentucky.
Yeah, that's kind of what McNeese did with Sam's this weekend. We saw more of the bootleg game and that.
Yeah.
Because his indecision back there, if they just drop him straight back in the pocket this week,
it scares me.
They're going to sack him a dozen times.
It scares me to death. Because
they are. Because
Anthony,
he will not throw the ball except deep. He'll
Yeah.
just chunk it deep
Yeah.
and see what happens. But he will not throw
intermediate routes and those type routes.
intermediate
No.
route if the guy is not wide
Right,
open.
right. And
if
the
wide
throw-
open, I mean at least 4 steps on somebody.
Like to the tight end when he threw the one in the middle to the tight end. But this is the thing with Anthony, and I know there's smart enough coaches there that know this. He's not a pocket quarterback. That's been settled. We know that.
They sure have
But
dropped him
don't-
back in the pocket a lot.
But don't put him. His percentages of dropping back 3 to 5 to 7 step drops, probably 80% of the time he's going to get sacked.
I agree with you.
So my thing is,
it's not because of the offensive line for the most part.
You can only hold somebody for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you got to
That's
give
what
them
I'm
that
saying.
credit for so long. Anthony Jennings has got to make a decision like this.
If
He's
I'm
got
Ole
to
Miss,
know.
If I'm Ole Miss, you know what I do? I stack the line.
I knew you were going to say
on
that.
first and
that
second down, and then I send the house on that inevitable third and 9. I send the house.
And you know what? What LSU has been trying to do all year long, by first and second down, they've been trying to actually shorten the sticks, Alex, and it's not been happening. Normally they'll get 2. Normally they'll get 4. Okay, that leaves you 6. Now, 4 to LSU, it's not always a given on run. I mean, 3rd and 4, it's not a given on run. Sometimes you have to throw, but they are in the mindset that they think that they can just hit somebody in the mouth and get it. And that's what LSU is going to find out this week. You've got to throw the ball on first down. If it's an out route, Scooter, let the defense know that we are going to throw. Instead of saying,
well, it's going to be an out route because he isn't throwing across the middle.
Let them know that you're going to throw the ball.
All right, I want to bring up.
That's all.
I want to bring up 2
You got to
names.
throw the ball on first down.
Once again, I thought a big game the week before. The local kid, Melvin Jones.
Yes. Scooter.
I didn't notice it as much during the game. You got to remember, I don't watch the game. I almost watch the game with one eye. I got so much. I'm keeping up with, for stuff in the paper during the game. I almost watched the game with one eye.
Yeah.
But I did see about half of the replay Sunday night. Melvin Jones is a beast at fullback.
He
now.
is. And
I was thinking, well, and Connor Neighbors was back, although Jones played first. And but I did notice when Connor Neighbors is in there, he's still pretty good too.
Yes, he is. Yes,
so
he is.
I don't know if Melvin is, but I think he has definitely earned a lot more playing time. And I guarantee you, he catches that little flat pass
in a heartbeat.
Even though it was a bad pass.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
And
when you think at Melvin, a lot of people don't know. This guy was a quarterback in high school. I mean, he's pretty.
And a linebacker.
Yeah, and a linebacker. So, you know what? For teams that haven't seen Melvin or know much about him, you could do some things with Melvin and surprise the team. You don't have many folks think that probably a fullback could even throw the ball.
I'm
if
not
you know what I
sure
mean when I
he's
say
not
that.
the best fullback there now, but I mean the position's his next year.
No, it is. That's no doubt about it, Scoot. That's no doubt about it. But
the other
I was
one
impressed.
I want to bring up, Jamal Adams. This is a true freshman.
33.
Let
me tell you something.
I don't know.
I'm impressed, Scooter.
I mean, he reminds me a
I'm
little bit
impressed.
of Eric Reed at that stage.
Yeah.
But I think as a true freshman, he's playing better than any of the true freshmen. Other than maybe the Honey Badger is a true freshman.
Yeah.
And in this game, even though he's playing safety and
everything,
well, he's the nickelback.
He's moving him, move him around.
Yes, it seems like he's nickel. He's the closest thing to a Honey Badger type player. He's in on every
I can't
play,
believe you even noticed the kid like that.
big play.
Yeah. And the thing about it, to be a freshman, you got to have that little twinkling eye like, oh, the kid is fearless. I mean, he wants you to come to his side. I mean, he wants to be involved in every
one
play.
stretch, he's all over the field.
No, I'm impressed
and then
with
they
him.
punt. Kentucky punts. He throws the key monster block.
He hit him.
For the punt return for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not enough.
Yeah.
The kickoff after that,
Yeah.
he makes the tackle on the
Knocks him out
kickoff.
almost. The kid's impressive. I mean, this kid's got a heck of a future.
Don't count on him being there more than 3 years. I can promise you that. But I mean, we're talking about a guy that might win the
Scooter,
Thorpe Award.
But
or
let me
something
tell you this
as a
though,
junior.
and the point that
Because
Scooter brings
I
up.
really, Patrick Peterson and Eric Reed are in Honey Badger over the last 6-7 years and I think he's farther along than Reed and Peterson.
Scooter, when you
and
look
he
at
may
the
be
kid,
more polished than Honey Badger was as a freshman. even though Honey Badger would make play after play.
But his talent set, Scooter, is, I mean, just physically looking at this kid, Scooter, you cannot say that he's a freshman. When I looked at him, I say, no way. Ain't no way. I mean, it's unreal. They don't make them like they used to, believe me when I tell you that. But when you get back to it, Scooter, the one thing that I've been harping on first of the year that LSU needed to get some productivity in was special teams. You cannot know until last week. Scooter, you cannot believe how different it makes for a punt return to either be brought back for a touchdown or to either be brought back to midfield. Alex, for offense to start at midfield, that's so much better than having to start on your own 20 or back in further than that. So that right there, I think really set them. Besides the penalties that, Kentucky had for the first set of downs was just horrible. It pretty much put LSU in the end zone. But for that punt return, to me, that was the difference maker. That was the difference maker to me.
Same thing with, you talk about McNeese regression, but actually special teams is where they improved this week too.
Yeah.
They had 2 kickoffs they brought to the other side of the 50.
That's what makes the difference.
30-yard punt return. At Sam Houston State, they had -9 yards in punt return.
Jeez.
So
that's
special
tough.
teams. That's
it makes
a huge difference.
When you can move those sticks at midfield on that, and each time that was the biggest, I think, credit to LSU in years past when they had like a Patrick Peterson and a Honey Badger. You knew those guys was going to get something out of that. You knew that. It made a difference.
All right, I never thought I'd hear myself say this. LSU got any chance against Ole Miss?
I would say yes, and I can come back and tell you why I feel that way.
Well, we're going to talk about other things. Maybe we'll get to
Okay,
it.
but I'll say, they got a chance. Yeah, and I'll tell you why they got a chance.
I'm not saying they have no chance, but I don't see much chance. We'll be
Boy,
right back.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff102014. Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
Gold. It's the color of quality, the color of taste, the color of a true Pilsner. Let your eyes drink it in. When you want a real light beer, it's Miller time.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brent Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
Dig in. Because after a few icy seconds, you'll discover the light beer brewed for 21 days. And that's time well spent. When you want a real light beer, it's Miller time.
All right, and we are back, and I just want to say again for some of the promotions we're having here at Lauberge is that, remember, karaoke will be Thursday and Saturday night right here in Jack Daniels.
You already said that.
I'm going to review it again, Scooter. And also November 6th, we're going to have Tasting on the Terrace, which is a treat that you love going to. You probably attended it every time we've had it. And also November 15th, Scooter's group, Heart. Scooter will probably be on the front row for this concert. So
I honestly have no idea.
Those are our promotions for this November that's coming up, and we'll keep you posted on anything else that comes up.
Speaking of Heart,
in the month of November.
The Saints, do they have any?
Boy, if Rick was sitting there, boy, I wonder what his reaction would be by you saying that. I wonder what would he say.
I mean, if you look, this is a team
I don't know.
That's 2-4
Saints?
now, and has choked away. Well, choke may be too strong a word, but the last 2
I don't
minutes
think so.
of 3 of their losses choked them away. Oh, I think choke is the exact word for the Detroit game. I mean, for once, their defense really played well. Until the game was, it really wasn't even on the line. All they had to do was not screw up, and the game is there.
They had the game won, but
just
the interception.
make them spin. You got what? It was 3rd and 11, I think. And okay, if you give up a first down, it's still not the end of the world. Well, they give up a 70-yard bomb.
Yeah.
With about 2 or 3 missed tackles.
Yeah.
And I didn't have as big a problem with.
Let me ask this. You know, in years past, we've said, you know, normally we love to see the Saints behind, and we'll say, they just need 2 minutes. They can get it done. Do you think the magic has somewhat kind of faded a little bit, Scooter, when you look at the Saints? Because I know in years past, you just had to give them 2 minutes, Alex, and we got a ball game on our hands if they were behind.
A minute. Well, you saw what, and the best example of that was at the end of the first half yesterday. When they get the ball in their own 10, and I'm thinking, Peyton, don't get, you know, there was about 50 seconds left, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And they already had a lead, not a big one, 10-3, I think it was. No, 7-3. And I'm thinking, you know, don't do something dumb here. You know, 7-3, and the Saints got the ball to start the second half. I'm thinking, you know, you don't need to do, well, they were very aggressive. Went down there, got a field goal.
Yeah.
So it worked, you know. I mean, that's the Saints. But something had happened. By the time they fell behind, you know, with 50 seconds or whatever to play in the second half, they weren't clicking anymore.
No.
I mean, Breeze had thrown like 8 straight incompletions, something like that.
And that's very uncharacteristic
But
of Breeze.
Defense, I thought played pretty well.
Yeah. And it's almost like, Scooter, you know what? You know, you're seeing to a point, I don't know, but I will go back, and Rick won't admit to it or whatever, but I will go back and say this. When you let a guy go like Sproles, that was a 3rd down type guy.
I'm with you on Sproles. I think they miss him more than
I think they do, Alex.
On.
And I'm going to tell you, Alex, he was that spark plug on 3rd down that you knew when that little bubble screen didn't work, you knew you could find Sproles somewhere curled up in the middle, hit him with a little 10-yard route. He's going to go for 10 or 15.
That's not the most disconcerting thing to me, Kip. Like I said, even their defense for 55 minutes yesterday was pretty good. Much maligned defense was pretty good.
But they was playing Detroit, Scooter.
Good,
but they were playing Detroit, Scooter.
Okay.
They were playing Detroit,
Detroit
no, Scooter.
is winning the Central.
Yeah, but
thanks to largely playing the Saints.
And you don't even have Megatron. Did he even play? No,
he didn't.
So you know,
but what I'm saying is, the defense was pretty good for 55 minutes. The offense was really good for about 50 minutes. I mean, it wasn't what we're used to seeing the Saints do over the years, you know, with the 30 and 40-yard completions. They were using the little screen passes and little dump offs in place of a running game. Basically, Pierre Thomas had a big game before he got hurt. But then again, a team is defined at crunch time.
It is.
And the Saints have blown 3 of their 4 losses.
They have.
Right at the end.
They have.
They've really only been beaten, really beaten down once.
Yeah. I agree with you, Scooter.
You know,
I will.
But that's disturbing. Go ahead.
As troubled as everyone is, 1 game out of first place.
I know. If you're going to muddle around,
this is the division to be doing this in.
Yeah, this is the year to be doing it, because there've been years where the South was the toughest.
Yeah.
That's sure in the case this year.
Everything is, you know, as bad as it's been, everything is still in front of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see what you're saying.
If they take care of business, next time they play Carolina.
And I guess everybody must be having these identities. I just do not see a personality / identity / my favorite word, chemistry on this Saints team.
To me,
and you know, this was coming off a bye week.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had, and Peyton, I think, never lost.
No, it was. I agree.
So,
I agree with you. It was, Scooter.
There is some troubling things, but I won't be surprised a week from now you're talking about how they beat the Packers.
Yeah.
In fact, I expect that to happen.
And you know what?
It's at home. They've got that going for them. But other than that,
and they've got the only ones. The Bears haven't won a home game this year, but they haven't lost on the road. They're the opposite of the Saints.
Can you believe that?
And they play each other in
Can
Chicago
you believe that? Can you
in
believe
November.
that? Unbelievable.
I think that one's probably destined to be a tie.
Yeah. But I'm just curious to see what's going to happen to the
But
Saints
no,
later on down the road.
I think they're going to win at home. I really do.
They're hard to lose at home.
All right, we got to go.
Yeah, we do.
All right. When we come back, let's talk about that Florida State game a little bit.
That was a doozy, wasn't it? Yes, let's talk about that. We'll be right back after these messages.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort, home of Soundoff 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
Hi, we're the Tarvers. Southwest Louisiana has been our home for all of our 30 years, and we're proud to have been born and raised in this community. We're also proud to continue the family tradition of serving the area with honesty, integrity, and Southern hospitality. And between our two stores, we have 150 employees who share those same values. If you already buy or service your vehicles with us, we'd like to say thank you. And if not, whether you're in the market for an import or a domestic, or you're interested in a career as part of our team, we'd like to invite you to come see what a car buying experience is supposed to be like at Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the most wonderful time, yes, the most wonderful time of the year.
We are back.
Yes.
Jack Daniels. I'm telling you, what is
It's good
going
enough.
on? It's one of your conventions?
No, not this
Hopping
Monday.
in here for
They're here to
Monday.
see
Not this
show.
Monday. It's just
They must
looking
have heard
like they're
me
coming
and
in.
you were singing afterwards. Huh?
They are. I can't wait. I think we may be able to even sell tickets for that, Scooter, you know? But I think Ebony and Albert, can you imagine that? Just imagine it. Two of us singing that, Scooter.
I can imagine.
Just like this. All right. What were we talking about for the fourth?
I don't know.
Florida
You
State
got
game.
me flustered.
The Florida State
Florida
game. Let's talk about
State-
Notre Dame and Florida State game. What a game,
I'll
man.
start.
What a game.
To me, it funny to say, it kind of legitimized Notre Dame in loss. It also tells me Florida State is not the #1 team in the country. They
I agree.
probably belong in the playoff, but I
Yeah.
don't think they're the #1 team in the country.
Yeah.
Sad, we talked about it in the NFL. Yeah, it's sad that a game that good had to come down to a flag.
Yeah.
But to me, that was textbook offensive pass interference.
Yes, it was.
What did you think?
Yes, it was.
All right.
It was.
And I know there's an argument. Go ahead.
But
it was.
the other side of this is, did that affect the defensive back's ability to play that ball?
To break
No.
on the ball.
It did. Well, yeah, it did.
They interfered. Those two guys were covering the two guys that were holding them up. The guy who was supposed to have Robinson,
the tight end,
blew the coverage.
Well,
the tight end.
They were
So-
still blocking downfield.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
they
right.
were.
It's right by the letter of the law. I'm just saying, the
Yeah.
guy who actually caught the touchdown pass, neither of those two guys was covering that.
Yeah.
The guy who was supposed to cover
Right,
him was
right,
not involved
right.
in
Well,
the offensive pass.
and
Well,
the thing is-
and every team has
So
a
I
big
don't
play.
disagree.
And every team, and
I
know
don't disagree
that-
with the call. I'm just saying the penalty
They
did
made-
not affect the actual result,
Right,
even
right.
though it was
That's-
committed.
Right. No, I see what
I'm
you're
not-
saying, Alex.
But-
Well,
but
because
here's what I'm saying.
I know what Alex
And
is
every
saying.
team tries to get away. I mean, they
Yeah.
want to bring
And
up
some do.
That Notre Dame had run basically the same play to the other side early in the game.
mean, if there's a
well,
holding-
it wasn't as blatant.
Right.
But yeah, they did. Well, nobody said they catch it every time.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's it's like if there's a
And, you know, all
holding.
they- but you
if
know,
you're
all
running
they-
if you're running off tackle right and the left tackle commits a holding,
Right. It's away from the plate.
But
And
it's still
you
holding.
almost- It is. It is.
Oh, yeah. So that's the same way
And,
this
and
play
see, the
was.
thing is, the thing that did it, Scooter, honestly, when
I
when
thought it was
Florida
a big
State,
play.
but when Florida State had alerted the refs of that play. You see, if you don't tell them, Alex, it's like it's a no call. It's a no call.
Here's the thing.
You just have to call it every time because I think that happens a lot more than it gets flagged.
But you're right.
Oh,
you're
probably
right.
so. But here's the thing. All Notre Dame, they could have blocked it the very same way they did. Try to wipe out the secondary with wide receivers. All they had to do was complete it behind the line of scrimmage. It was legal.
Yeah. You're right.
So when Saban came from the NFL back to college, that blew him away.
Yeah.
That you could do that.
You can do
he
that.
said, that's like stealing.
Yeah, you can. But it's true.
Because it's not legal in the NFL.
Right.
And when you look at it, though, I mean, it wasn't, the guy was wide open regardless. And like you said, blown coverage or not, for the fact of what happened coming off the ball with that 5 yards, that's what made him call it.
Yeah.
That's what made him
so
call
Notre
it.
Dame drops down a little bit.
Yeah.
We now have
But good game.
The AP poll for the top 5 are from the SEC West.
How do you do a playoff? How do you do a playoff system with that?
Well, it's going to work itself
Well,
out.
not completely, though.
How do you do a playoff system with that?
Not complete.
Auburn or Alabama have to lose. Ole Miss or Mississippi State has to lose. That's guaranteed.
But see, this is the thing that I hate. Why, and you can't credit the teams for being good. My God, you can't do that. But everybody's going to eat up each other, Alex. You've got that many good teams. Seem like they shouldn't.
And Ole Miss, Mississippi State. But let's assume none of them lose. You were just saying, because Auburn and Alabama play each other, State and Ole Miss.
Right.
And I don't think it will happen. But let's assume all 4 of them go unbeaten until then. Well, they couldn't.
No, they can't because they play each other.
State plays Alabama.
Because they play
That's what I'm saying. The schedule will work this out.
But even if, let's say it's State and Ole Miss both end up unbeaten. Only one of the losers only going to have one loss.
That's it.
Right.
Or let's say Auburn, Alabama both went out.
Or both
the
will have
winner
one.
is going to only have one loss, and Ole Miss could still be with one loss. So
Yeah.
it won't completely work itself out.
Well, that's why I think you need an 8-team.
Oh, get out of here! Get out! I knew I should.
It's going to be a little glitch right there.
4 is not enough. It's going to be. It's going to be harder.
As soon as I give you 8, it's like a drug addict. You'll be in here next year. That's why we need 9 teams.
Look.
That's why we need 10 teams.
This is going to be harder to figure out than 2 teams.
It is going to be hard. It is going to be hard.
Because there's going to be 3 or 4 teams.
It's going to be easy.
It is going to be hard.
There's going to be 3 or 4 teams that have a legitimate argument to be 4th. If you have an 8-team playoff, then you're out of,
this
you
is
got
what's
everything
crazy.
taken
You
care of.
had 4 teams.
Even with just 2 teams, most years it worked itself out, and it was fairly obvious.
It's going to be interesting to see just how it works itself out. Though it really is, though. I mean, the West dominated.
The top 2 or 3 teams are going to be easy to figure out. I think that 4th team is going to be where all the headaches are.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and the thing about it is,
but there's going to be a lot of 4 teams.
You're talking about this
because you're going to have a lot of one-loss teams, or maybe a 2-loss SEC West.
The tangle of SEC West teams in there, that you're probably right. It probably will work itself out. No more than 2 at the most. Maybe probably just 1. But the crazy thing, I'm not completely sold that Florida State is one of the 4.
Well,
but they're going to be there.
Well, their record's going to let them be there, Scooter.
Because you talked about it won't happen because Auburn,
Alabama
got to play each other. Give all 4 of those SEC teams in there Florida State's remaining schedule.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there is one chance left for them. And it's next.
I know where you're going
next
with
Thursday
this.
at Louisville.
Yeah.
Thursday night is when crazy things happen.
You're right about that.
And you wouldn't know this in the SEC because they are above scheduling on Thursday nights, justifiably.
Season openers.
So, weird. Oregon lost on a Thursday night. It seems like that's when weird stuff happens.
Yeah. Oregon lost at home.
I'm telling you, Florida State.
And it is. It's
at Louisville. You got Bobby Petrino looking to...
On a Thursday night. You're right, though, Alex.
Bobby Petrino's already thinking about that next job if he wins this game.
Exactly.
So, I think it's a perfect
No,
storm.
Bobby's not thinking about that.
And
Come on now.
Who knows what hijinks Jameis Winston will get in between now and then.
Oh, God. Scooter.
All right, we got to go.
All right, we got to go
We'll
for
be
our
right
last break
back
of the
with trivia.
Yes.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford, Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort.
Hi, we're the Tarvers. Southwest Louisiana has been our home for all of our 30 years, and we're proud to have been born and raised in this community. We're also proud to continue the family tradition of serving the area with honesty, integrity, and Southern hospitality. And between our two stores, we have 150 employees who share those same values. If you already buy or service your vehicles with us, we'd like to say thank you. And if not, whether you're in the market for an import or a domestic, or you're interested in a career as part of our team, we'd like to invite you to come see what a car buying experience is supposed to be like at Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
What is it about Luxair cooling products that deliver the comfort you've been wishing for? Is it their energy-saving performance? Those super cozy moments with loved ones? Or perhaps it's that great feeling you get in helping those wishing for a little comfort of their own. For over a decade, we've been helping deliver hope, strength, and joy to Make-A-Wish children and families at a time when they need it most. Find out how Luxair home comfort products will make you feel really good this season. Luxair, the comfort you've been wishing for.
We are back for everybody's favorite part of the show, and this week we've got two of my favorite trivia girls.
Yes, we do.
The lovely Kayla and the lovely Amber.
Yes.
What you got for us?
What's the first one? Who's
going first?
It's me.
Who's going?
I'm going first.
Okay.
You ready? Don't cheat.
I'm
Like
on-
you
I'm
always
not.
like to
I'm
do.
on-
You
I'm
can't
gonna
see through
try
this
and get
paper,
it.
right?
I know I can't.
Okay, all right.
I can't.
All right, here we go.
Make it easy on us now,
All
okay?
right, I'm gonna try.
All right.
Okay, which Louisiana native managed both the A's and Giants?
Oh, come on, Scoot. That's a baseball question. You gotta have that.
You don't know
The
this?
World Series this week.
No, wait a minute.
I don't know.
Let me tell you. All right, I know who it is. I'm going to give you a big hint.
For Kansas City?
Wait a minute. I'm going to give you a big hint. You share two alma maters with him.
Oh, Scooter.
How many schools have you graduated from?
Let's review. Where'd you go to high school?
Lake Charles High.
College?
LSU.
Okay.
I think I know.
Who's the most famous athlete from Lake Charles High? I know you think it's you. But it's not.
God dog it. Help me out, Scooter.
Alvin Dark.
Alvin Dark. Yes. Yes.
I mean,
yes.
he graduated Lake Charles High in the 30s.
In the 30s. It was, yeah.
That's
All right.
before your time.
That was a tough one, Scooter. Come on, that was before my time, Scooter. Come on now. That was tough, man. I know. I did. The best high school ever.
Okay, moving on. Question number 2. Who was the last Royals pitcher to lose a playoff game and what year?
Oh, come on, Scooter.
I know the year. The year the Cardinals got screwed. That's the year.
Who was he? Who was he, Scooter?
Oh, I'm proud. Okay.
I would guess Dan Quisenberry.
I'm going to say Quisenberry.
Quisenberry, could that be the guy?
That is incorrect.
Is it really?
It is. It's incorrect.
What? Now these guys,
Saberhagen
I am not
won
the baseball guy. These guys are the baseball guy.
So they would have been, what, game 5? That was the last one they lost, or 4?
Yeah, they won 6 and 7, so I guess game 5.
So I don't know.
So y'all
What's
don't
the
know.
correct answer
The
for that
correct answer is Bud Black in 1985.
Yeah, I knew it was 85.
And he now manages the Padres.
I'm not the baseball guy. I'm telling you. Hey, do we have a football one in there somewhere?
I don't know.
Okay, we do. Okay, here we go.
Hiding them from you.
Here we go. What is it? Tell me.
Alrighty, question, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Who were the
I'm
Saints playing when Tom Dempsey kicked his 60-30?
I know what you.
63 yards.
Wait, I'm gonna go out. I remember that. Dempsey kicked the 6-yard field goal. I'm gonna say they were playing. I'm gonna say the Colts.
I'm gonna say the Detroit Lions. Alex Karras threw his helmet into the end zone.
That's right.
Is that correct?
I know
The
it's
Lions.
correct.
That is correct.
Detroit. All right, then. All right.
68 or 69.
Yeah, that was a heck of a kick.
All right,
We don't really know because there's no answer to that question. It sounds correct.
Yes.
He's shaking his head at me, so we're going to go to yeah.
All right, then.
We'll give you
All
a
right.
freebie.
All right.
Okay, what was LSU's record against Archie Manning?
When he played at Ole Miss.
1 and 2.
1 and 2?
I would.
No, it wasn't 1 and 2.
That sounds right.
I'll say.
He single-handedly beat him first 2 years, and then his senior year he was wearing that cast big as a Volkswagen, and LSU beat him 6.
Yeah.
This is a 3-part question, by the way.
Okay, all right. Then what's
You
the other
gotta
part?
do Archie, Eli, and Peyton.
Okay, what each one of those records were?
Yes.
Well, LSU only.
He's 1 and 2 against Archie. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but LSU only played Tennessee 1 year.
Okay, we'll get to it.
I would say Peyton won that game because that was the
Peyton
90s
did.
and LSU was terrible.
Yeah.
Well, y'all both are.
And then
And
Eli, they were 1
Eli.
and 1.
yeah,
1 and 1 with Eli. Okay.
Yeah.
All right
Peyton,
then.
Peyton Manning?
they were 0 and 0.
Oh, and oh, yeah.
LSU
never
never
played.
played Peyton.
wow. All right.
Yeah.
Good
That's
job,
one of the
Scooter.
crazy
Okay.
deals, and that was after, that was after they went to divisions.
Right.
But LSU never played Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson,
Right.
or Peyton Manning.
You're right. You're right.
I did not know that.
You're
If
right.
y'all ever do like a game show, like a quiz game show,
We're gonna
with
definitely
football,
call you guys.
No, you have to put Scooter on your team because I love you, but I don't know how much faith I got in you.
I'm not a baseball guy. I can't do baseball. I cannot. No, I can't do
You didn't
baseball.
even know your alma mater.
I wasn't born in 1938 either. Okay, that would be kind of tough. Okay, for me to know that
My
one.
high school did have more Heisman Trophy winners than yours did.
We'll let him have that one. Okay. And again, thanks guys.
Thank
Great
y'all.
job.
Thank
All right. All right.
What else? What else we got?
I want to talk about Percy Harvin if we have a minute.
they say we're done.
What is that all about?
I don't
we
know.
can't
He
talk
was
about
a
Percy
cancer
Harvin?
in the locker room. He's gone.
That easy?
Yeah. That's the way it happens.
All right. All right, guys. That's it. Rick, we missed you this week.
Maybe we will have.
What will we
all
have?
three of us back. I don't know.
I hope next week. I mean, I'm here.
I'm happy to have.
I'm
Alex
here for the rest of the year. I'm
happy. For
I'm
Alex.
done. Work is over for me.
All right,
Going
let's
anywhere.
go.
All right, guys.
Next time.
See you next week.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort. Soundoff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Soundoff 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.